So this is going to be a quick video. So we are in Crosby, Texas. What am I doing here? Well, I'm visiting a friend of mine, and we thought we would stop off and see a location for one of my favorite episodes of Unsolved Mysteries. If you grew up in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, you're familiar with Unsolved Mysteries and Robert Stack. One of my favorite kind of genres of Unsolved Mysteries is the Ghost Edition. It shows a lot of hauntings and stuff like that. But there was one episode called The Black Hope Curse. And basically what happened was in the early 1980s, this subdivision, the Newport subdivision, was developed in Crosby, Texas. Very nice, as you can see here, neighborhood. People moved in. Behind me, you can see the house here. Sam and Judith Haney moved into the house. Everything was going great. They decided they were going to put in a pool. Well, a mysterious stranger knocked on their door and said, hey, by the way, before you start digging in your backyard, this entire neighborhood is built on an old African-American cemetery. Basically, they just destroyed the graves and built on top of it. And so the Haneys decided they were going to investigate for themselves and dig in the backyard. And guess what they found? They found the graves of two people. I believe their names were Charlie and Betty Thomas. And they were buried in the 1930s in the backyard of the house behind me. So they didn't know what to do, so they called the coroner. They said, yeah, these are bones. And they actually gave them the option to just rebury them right there in the backyard. So they did. Well, that's when the weirdness started happening, and the Haneys believed that when they disturbed those graves, that somehow disturbed Charlie and Betty Thomas, and that's when the weirdness started. People, they would see orbs, they would hear disembodied voices, but one of the creepiest things, I think, that happened, Judith Haney couldn't find a pair of her favorite shoes. So she's looking all around the house, she can't find them. Well, she looks in the backyard, and right where Betty Thomas was buried are the pair of shoes on top of that burial site. And she realized that the day it was, from the history that she had researched of these people, that it was Betty Thomas's birthday. And she believed that Charlie Thomas was looking for a birthday present for Betty and decided to give her those pair of shoes. But it doesn't stop there. There was another couple here, I think their name were Ben and Jean Williams, in another house here, I'm not sure where it is, and they also discovered that they had two graves in their backyard, and they said as soon as they discovered those grave sites, all this weirdness started happening. Again, disembodied voices, they would see shadows moving across the hall, the toilet would flush on its own. It's really one of the creepiest unsolved mysteries that's out there. Whether the story is true or not, I don't know, because according to reports, nobody else in this neighborhood after they moved out has reported any paranormal activity since. Of course, they could not be reporting it to keep people like me away who are going around snooping around their neighborhood. Yeah, so that's the story of the Black Hope Curse. From my understanding, a lot of the African Americans that were buried here were freed slaves, and there are about 60 burial plots in various areas behind me and all around me, for that matter. So anyways, that's the story, the Black Hope Curse. I just kind of wanted to show you guys the neighborhood in Crosby, Texas, and yeah, thanks for watching.